Does anybody really care about your stuff other than you? Now, what would you like guarding your stuff? Would you like something like this to put a fire out? Or how about if a fire starts in your house, you just pick this thing up and you throw it at the fire? Well, that's what they used to do. Today, if you have maximum security, you have this. Unlike previous alarm systems, and many of them still in use today, this unit, even if the electricity goes out, it'll still work because it works on a big battery, and it'll send the signal up to the latest technology in a satellite, and it sends out the alarm to a fire or an ambulance or the police, whatever's needed. This is the state-of-the-art. The state-of-the-art had a very interesting beginning. This little unit here, and I'm going to read what this says. This is the very first alarm system for a company called Checkmate Security. It was designed, manufactured, and installed by Edward E. Kaufer in 1967. It's a homemade alarm. It was a humble beginning, but it worked. And they started manufacturing them then in 1972. So the history of maximum security and Steve Kaufer really started with something like this. And it worked. But some companies still have something like this, whereas now you can get this. One of the reasons why you need to have this is because car alarms are ignored today. You know that. You're in a parking lot and the car alarm goes off. You ignore it. You have home and business alarms. They're ringing all the time. You ignore it. You have false alarms, homes or businesses, and the people who own these homes or these businesses, they pay for those false alarms. The police and the fire department charge you. So we're seeing more evidence every day that with the exception of someone who loves you, nobody cares about you or your stuff. I mean, more often than not, people are taking pictures of an accident or a bad event when something goes wrong before they even bother to call 911 for help. So, we're all pretty familiar with the problem. Now, what about a solution? You want a security company to protect your stuff and protect you from costly false alarms. If you're a business, you need additional protection from employees that, may or may not steal from you, shoplifters, and robbery. Well, a security company represents another problem, and that is, how do you know you can trust the security company? You're not just letting anybody into your home or your business. You're not just giving your codes over to anybody. Well, I want you to know who you're dealing with. Steve Kaufer, we met in 1991 when he had an answering service that I used when I first went on radio and television. It was called a beeper. I know that dates us, but things have come a long way since then. Now, you can hire the company, Maximum Security, to guard your stuff because it is owned by Steve Kaufer. And Steve is the father of Bella. And like many of us, we have dogs whom we love. But I'll just bet you, if Bella was doing the guarding, she'd give up every single thing that Steve has for a nice red steak. As would just about any dog, unless they're specially trained. And I don't have a specially trained dog. Bella is not a specially trained dog. But a security company that won't give it up for a steak, I think that's what you need. When you are a client of Maximum Security and you'd like to know about your bill or you have a question, the person who answers the phone may be one of three people. Zulema Munoz, Client Services. So you are Ron Walker, Security Advisor. Wow. And how do I know that? Because not only do I have your card, but you have an identification badge that you wear all the time because you're in the security business.
Right.
So when you go to visit people, they can see it's you.
Absolutely.
That's pretty important. In addition to being the best guardian of your stuff, Maximum Security wants to make sure that there's plenty of customer service available. So not only do they have Zaluma, but they have Antonio Lopez III. And to complete, we have Julie Roberts. She takes care of you also. And, I mean, everybody's just good at what they do here, right?
That's right.
Okay. Doing business locally, in my humble opinion, is really important. And we're here at Koffi in the Rancho Mirage facility where they, cook all the beans. I don't think they call it cook, do they?
Roast.
Roast all the beans. How many clients do you service here in the Coachella Valley region now? What are you up to? Man, lots of thousands.
Thousands and thousands of customers, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
All the way from Desert Hot Springs to Coachella.
I've known you and your involvement in the community for a long time. Because you're local, you take a very avid interest in local charity and nonprofits, and you help out a lot. And I got this list from one of your employees. I'm going to blow your horn a little bit. You are a board member for the Desert AIDS Project.
Yes, I am. Very proud of that.
And you supply free or at seriously reduced cost alarm systems for the Desert AIDS Project, for the Revivals thrift stores.
We do.
Angel View Foundation,
Yes.
and all of the Angel View thrift stores. They have a lot of homes where their clients live, and you do that too?
We do. The community, the group homes where their
Wow.
Angel View clients live.
Yeah.
They're terrific.
And the AIDS Assistant Program,
We
you're
do.
involved in that. And the Friends of the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. Of course, you have Bella, who we've met earlier. And tell me about what you've done for the Friends of the Palm Springs Animal Shelter. I mean, I have 3 rescue dogs, and you've rescued Bella. And for those of you, please don't call Steve about the fact that Bella's a little bit overweight. She's on a diet. And when she was rescued, Steve, she was skin and bones.
She was skin and bones, yeah.
Tell me about what you did for the Friends of the Palm Springs Animal Shelter.
That's a really unique facility. If you haven't been there yet, it's the Palm Springs Animal Shelter, and it's on Mesquite Road in Palm Springs. A beautiful facility. It was built with some city money, some grant money, and it's now run by the Friends of the Palm Springs Animal Shelter.
The Friends, which are individuals who want to contribute their time
Volunteers.
and their money.
Right.
Okay.
So most of the people that are there staffing that clinic and the shelter are volunteers. And my sister was a huge animal lover. She, had dogs all her life. She worked with rescue groups. And she
And
died,
her name?
unfortunately, Candace.
Candace, right.
Candace Kaufer. And she died a couple years ago. And it was just at the time when the animal shelter facility was being opened up. So what we did in her honor was we dedicated and donated the video surveillance system that's in throughout the facility that allows the staff and volunteers there to watch what's going on.
Oh, that's right. When you walk
Yeah.
in, they have the monitors, and they can see every single room with every single
everything.
puppy and kitty and everything.
Right.
Oh,
In
wow.
addition, if there's any problems there, the police can look into that facility remotely. So if there's a problem at night, they can check in. And then we also just put in a safety system for the volunteers. There are buttons throughout the facility. If they need help with the dog, they can signal that and get help. So
There was
we're
one
very
other thing
involved
that
with
was also donated for Candace.
There is.
Yeah.
There's a place right out by the front door that's a fenced-in facility. It's all grass, and Candy's neighbor Jim Dunn, when they were the dearest and closest of friends, he donated that in her honor and with his 2 dogs. So there's another donation there in Candy's name, which is very, very, very nice.
There's something about doing business with a local company. It's like there's something about getting your coffee at Koffi's, Koffi.
F.I.
And of course you guys guard the beans.
We do.
You pay a lot of money for maximum security. not extreme, but it's more expensive than the average everyday security system.
Yes.
And are you getting your money's worth? Is there a reason why you pay the kind of money you do?
Well, we have a high degree of confidence that their equipment works. So on the most basic level, if we have an alarm, we know that they're fast, they're super fast, and we know that their equipment's going to work. So in that regard, it's somewhat preventative in nature. And we also have a lot of assets. We have a lot of money invested in our stores.
Yeah.
So while, yeah, it may not be about the coffee beans, but there's several $1,000s of coffee sitting right here. So there is that comfort in knowing that when our stores are closed at night that we are protected. So yes, I think by far it's a confidence level in their brand, which in turn enhances our brand because it makes what we do easier and better.
Well, when you first started in business, I remember you had a different security company, and
Right.
it didn't work out too well.
Well, we were at a startup company, and of course I didn't know maximum security at the time, and they were very inexpensive. Their price was right, but we were actually broken into about 2 years into business, and they stole some money, damaged the property,
Wow.
but the alarm didn't go off even though it was set. And we found out later that the battery in one of the motion detectors was not working correctly. Now, to put that in perspective, just a few months ago, I pulled up in front of one of the stores, saw Maximum truck out front, came in, a technician was on a ladder, and I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, we got a diagnostic that your door sensor is not working, so we're replacing it." So they often just take care of stuff like that before we even find out about it. So it's a layer of stress. It's one less thing we have to worry about. So to answer your question, does that pay off? It certainly does pay off in a level of comfort.
John is the business partner for John, whom you met earlier. And John, you are the bean expert. You are in charge of all that pretty equipment in there that does all the roasting?
Yes.
Okay.
Very pretty equipment.
Now, these bags of beans, is this how the coffee bean comes? Is this color?
No.
No.
This is actually how it comes in. Now, this is 4 different beans in this.
Yeah?
If you look, you can see the different sizes and colors. And it's our bold blend, our house
So
bold.
you guys make this yourself. You get the
Yes.
beans from all over the world,
Right.
and these are different beans.
Yes. And we come
Cool.
up with the recipe through a long process of cupping and tasting.
And you do that.
We do that.
That's your expertise.
That's
you're,
what
you're
I
the,
do.
You're the expert bean guy.
I'm learning,
Okay.
trying to be an
yeah,
expert.
I'm sure. The
But,
coffee's okay. So, and this is what it
and
looks
that's the
like.
finished product.
So when you roast coffee, it starts out green and ends up
Yes.
brown.
And you see all kinds of different shades and sizes in this too.
Mm-hmm.
This is before roasting, this is after roasting.
And you do it right here, and you can't get any fresher.
You cannot get fresher.
Basically, coffee, K-O-F-I,
FFI.
coffee, you have the freshest coffee.
We're
place.
the only roaster in the Coachella Valley.
Wow.
And we roast fresh every day. Send it right to our stores. You cannot get fresher coffee.
Well, look at this. This is my cup of coffee they made for me earlier.
It's beautiful.
And it's like an espresso thing with milk.
It's a latte, yes.
Oh, good.
How is it?
That is so good.
Mm.
You're going to have to show me how I make that at home with a French press,
Okay.
because I just really started with the French press, and I'm not very good at it, and I'm not getting a good cup of coffee like this.
The French press is the best way to make coffee. We'll send you to French press school.
Will you show me?
Yes.
Okay, deal. Thank you. This is fascinating. Look at this.
It is. It's very interesting and fun.
Well, you gotta have fun.
I have fun at work every day.
I mean, if you're in business and you're not having fun, I suggest you just
change your business.
thank you.
And then it's equally as fun to go out front and see customers enjoying the product and laughing and smiling. It's very rewarding business.
Oh, this is good. I can tell you right now, that's the best cup of coffee I've ever had. It really is.
Thank you, Patty.
It really is.
Well, it's fresh, and that has a lot to do with it. And we source very good quality beans. They're organic, usually fair trade.
Right.
We bring them in and roast them.
This is great.
Serve them right away.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to sit here and drink my coffee.
Okay. I'm going to go back to work and roast some more beans.
In addition to the coffee, you have food, but you make this food like just in Palm Springs, and we're in Rancho Mirage, so you make it in Palm Springs.
That's correct. We have a full kitchen in our North Palm Canyon store, which actually serves as a commissary to all 3 stores. Just as we roast coffee here, and that's a roasting commissary where we supply coffee beans to all 3 stores from this location.
So when you make your food, it's super fresh and healthy.
Yes.
And you have pastries, you make those too?
Pastries, a large selection of muffins, scones,
Right.
croissants. Those are baked fresh daily.
I noticed that you serve somebody a tuna sandwich. Wow.
We have breakfast bagels and also lunch sandwiches that are,
Oh, you have paninis.
we grill those to order. So you come in if you want something breakfast related or lunch related, we can serve a hot sandwich with a good specialty coffee
And
drink.
you have special prepaid cards. You can load it and give it to your friend for, what do you have, $50 and $35?
Yeah, well, any amount, but if you load 50 on it, we actually give you an extra $5 free.
So if I wanted to be really cheap and give a friend a cheap thing, I could do $5.
Absolutely.
A coffee gift card.
Absolutely.
That's a good idea. Play your cards right. I might send you one. Let's see. Oh, and you've got some healthy stuff here. Now, you don't make this, but this looked very interesting. It's excellent source, high energy omega, cashews, super bites, and it's for vegan and gluten-free.
Yes, and that's one of the things our customers are asking, and you'll see more of in the future, is really super healthy alternative. We already serve several gluten-free options, vegan options. Those are some new food items we're going to start bringing in. And again, it's more of a grab-and-go thing with your cup of coffee, but it's a snack for the office.
All right. Now,
Okay.
I drink a low-acid coffee at home. Is that what they made this for me, low acid, and this is what you recommend for me?
This is one of the espressos we carry. It's an
Okay.
organic American espresso. We use a European style espresso for your drink. It's a little more mild,
All right.
a little lighter roast.
Okay.
But both espressos are extremely smooth.
So this is what you recommend for me?
I think you'll enjoy that. Start with that.
Tell me what you're going to charge me to put an installation in a simple, like we're at Koffi, and they're your client, as everybody well
Right.
knows by now. And by the way, I'm still have my cup of coffee. Sorry,
It's fantastic
yeah,
coffee,
we're not
isn't it?
sharing, okay? But you charge what? Over $1,000 to install a system, and this other company says, hey, we'll do it for free and give you $50. You're not going to give me any $50, and you're sure going to charge me.
That's right. But one of the things you're getting is a system that's designed for you. This system that most companies offer for free is a package. You know, they come in, they're going to do 3 doors and a motion detector. Well, I'm sure you have more than 3 doors or windows in your home. So it's a form of Russian roulette. If we're going to do the front door, the back door, and hope that the burglar doesn't break in the sliding door in the master bedroom. So we design a system that covers you completely so that you can turn it on at night and sleep safely. In addition, when you leave the house, you have additional levels of protection. So it's really important that we sit down with everyone that's interested in the system, ask about how they want to use the system, ask about pets, ask about children, ask about guests, things like that.
You ask me questions as to what's going to be the best thing for me.
Right.
Okay.
And we design it just for them.
Okay. Now, we all know that we have a cable system in our Coachella Valley.
We do.
They want to be my alarm company too, don't they?
They do. And it's an interesting reason why they want to be your alarm company. It's not the answer that you would think. For instance, Time Warner Cable is our Coachella Valley provider of cable services. Well, Time Warner Cable, their revenue last year was $21 billion. That's with a B, a billion. Now, let's say $21 billion is this much. The revenue from their alarm company is this much. So why do they want to mess around with alarm systems? It's probably not because they want to be in the alarm business. They want to make sure that you never leave them as a cable company because they want to protect that $21 billion of revenue. So if they put a system in your home that only works with them, you're going to be very hesitant to change. Well, so they have you using their internet, their cable service forever, which is what they want.
They want to own you.
Exactly.
And all you want to do is protect me.
They put in a minimal system, and usually they use subcontractors. So the people in your home don't even work for that company.
Wait a minute. They're letting people into my home who we don't know have been certified, and we don't know if they've got background checks, and we don't know who they are, and they could have gotten out of jail yesterday.
That's exactly the problem. So that subcontractor, their job is to get that system put in as quickly as possible, slap it in, move on to the next one, because they get paid by the piece. They don't get paid when you're happy. They just get paid to put that system in. Our system, our equipment, is much the same as other companies use.
Well, wait a minute. You showed me that beautiful red box.
Yes.
Okay, and it has the antenna on top.
That's right.
And it does all these wonderful things. But isn't there something special about the red box that you use?
That's our exclusive Secure Max service. So rather than communicate your alarm by the telephone or by the cable, which can be cut by the burglars on the outside.
Goes up to the satellite. They can't cut it because there's no line.
Exactly. So it's our own system, and that's ours exclusively.
Okay. How do you prevent false alarms? Because those cost us big time.
We do it in a lot of different ways. First of all, we don't slap the system in the house like the ADT dealer is going to do. We take time to put it in professionally. We use very quality parts. I mean, we can buy cheap parts, or we can buy parts that aren't going to false alarm. And we buy the kind that don't false alarm.
That makes sense.
In addition, we proactively check all the activity from the night before. So if we see that you had a false alarm at your home or an alarm at your home and you weren't there, we're going to call you and say, Patty, we noticed that the front door in your home went off yesterday. Is everything okay? And we're going to make sure that, well, my housekeeper came in and she set it off by accident. So we know that that's, but if it's going off because it's an equipment issue or your door's a little bit loose or something like that, we're going to help you repair that.
Okay, you mentioned that you also have some other things, and that is, you see these people with the little push the button that you have around your neck.
Right.
Because if you're home alone and you're elderly or just doing something and you want to make sure you're safe or your mother's safe or your dad or somebody, you have that too.
We do have medical alert kind of buttons.
Right.
That can be either standalone systems or they can be tied into your security system.
Okay. If you have Steve's Maximum Security Company, you can look at your house and your rooms on your phone or on your tablet.
Right. So you can, with cameras in your home or business, you can look in at any time to see what's going on in your home. Or if you're in Chicago at your other home and you get a call from us saying, hey, the alarm's going off, you could actually look in on your cell phone immediately to see what's going on, to see if maybe it was the housekeeper that set it off or the pest control person. In addition, you can, from your cell phone or your iPad, you can do everything that you can do standing in front of your keypad at home. Okay. So you can turn the system on, you can turn it off, you can reset it, you can allow a guest to come in by turning the alarm off remotely and letting them in the house. If you want to control your lights,
you can do
that here. You want to control the lock to your front door, you can do that here. You want to control your thermostat so that you don't come home to a warm house, you can do that from here.
So I'd give you a couple of choices. You can either call Steve up and or his staff and find out about their company and sign up for their security system. Or I have a book here that says 150 things you should know about security. You can read the book. Of course, it won't do you any good because today, believe me, we need security. And Steve, you've been at this a long time. Your family has been in the business since 1960s.
Yeah, it's late 70s,
yeah. So you've grown up in the industry.
Yeah.
But in addition, your job is to take care of our stuff.
Take
Right.
care of their stuff and them. Make sure they're safe too.
We met your staff. You have great staff. Okay?
We do have a great staff.
And they've been with you a long time. Everybody pretty much is a long-term employee.
Yes.
And how do you check the people out that go into the homes and know every inch of my home when you install a system?
Well, we go way beyond what the state requirement is. The state requirement is that you have to register your employees as an alarm agent. In addition to that background check that the state does, we do our own background check. We do a very involved background investigation of every employee. We do periodic reviews of that investigation to make sure nothing has changed in their history. So we really check them out because we want to make sure that when someone goes into a home, they represent us well and don't do anything they're not supposed to do.
Well, in addition to that, do your employees know all my secret codes and you have keys to some of the homes and everything?
We do. One of the things as a local company that we do, we realize that so many of our customers are out of town. They live in Los Angeles, they live in Canada, they live in Chicago. So they need someone locally that can go and repair their system if something goes wrong, or they need someone to go in and check the house. So most of our customers give us keys to their homes that we secure very safely in our office. In addition, we do have the codes to all their alarms. So it's really important that the person coming to your home is checked out because they have the keys to the kingdom, if you will.
Well, the man in charge of your crew that does the installation, how many years has he been with you? 30?
Oh, Dave LaFrance and I have worked together for more than 30 years, yes.
Well, that says something. Really, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, when people stay with a company a long time, you're doing something right, Steve. It's about supporting the businesses that are actually here and care about our community, in addition to making the best cup of coffee I've ever had. And knowing Steve for a couple of decades, do business locally because you can get him on the phone. I mean, you got an issue. He's got a great staff, but you have an issue? Hey, call him up. He's there. He's there for us. He's there for the community, and he's there for you and your stuff. You care about their stuff.
We care about them and their stuff.